There we go. There we go.
What up?
What up? What up?
Technical difficulties.
That's all right. Hey, we're going to get there. That's why we're doing this. We're going to get there.
Still a practice run, just for those of you who are new and joining. You know what I'm saying? Okay. We're getting it done. We're getting it done. Go ahead, like it up. Listen, we in there like swimwear. Now stop playing with us. Hey, appreciate y'all for joining the live. Listen, again, today is another just practice run in a sense. All right. December the 7th, 8 p.m. Eastern, right? That's when we officially going to start the actual podcast on TikTok. And then from there, hopefully we'll migrate to YouTube. If you don't follow us or you haven't followed us, just go to one of our bios and then click the YouTube channel and then hit subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Listen, don't make fun of the YouTube channel yet, all right? We still taking it off the ground. We got like 18 subscribers so far? Something like that. I think, if I'm not mistaken. We're getting there. Why is it doing that? Okay, there we go. Yeah, so make sure that y'all go subscribe to us. All right, big bro, you good?
What up? Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Don't come on. I'll just do it through your phone.
All right, man. So those of you who is wondering what's this podcast about, if you haven't joined for the past two practice runs that we had, essentially we start off with an introduction. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Legendary Pulls. All right. Why we have this channel, why are we starting this channel? All right. In a sense, we're just trying to bridge the gap between the old school and new school in a sense, right? So just building that foundation as far as like how the younger generation and their thought, their mentality when it comes to new school stuff. So for an example, we talked about on the last episode how the younger generation don't really, in a sense, want to get married. Oh, I want that tradition. I want that promise before God, in a sense. And what we're doing here, right, is to talk about the pros and the cons, obviously. But at the end of the day, right, we're trying to get them or persuade them, in a sense, to, you know what I'm saying, to honor that tradition, to honor that promise before God, and etc. At the same time, though, we decided to merge our TikTok accounts, in a sense, right, and then create the one podcast. So y'all pray for us, support us, share, like, and hopefully we'll get it off the ground and then, reach out to a lot of people who we feel like could help them out in any type of way, right? Let's see. I'm military again. For those of you who don't know, I'm in Korea, so the time difference is crazy. Currently for me, it is currently 7:27 p.m. Friday, so my day is essentially already done. Outside of that, though, listen, I appreciate y'all for joining. Today we're gonna have a nice little practice episode again, right? At the end is when we'll ask for questions and just talk about random topics. But that's pretty much it for me, Mike G.
All right. Hey, what's up, bro? Nice to see you. I'm glad you got a little rest. You know that's what's up. No problem. Hey, can you see the comments also still?
Yeah, I can see them.
Okay, good. So yeah, my name is Mike G. Like Legendary said, we met a while back, and I started coming to his platform. And what we found out is that we had a lot of things in common. Although, I'm a little bit more seasoned than he is. I've been around the sun a few more times than he has. We really found that we are really connected on many different levels. So that's hence the name Parallel. That's why we came with the name, Parallel Genz, because we're trying to reach all types of generations, whether it's the younger generation, younger than Legendary, or my generation, or older than me. We're trying to reach out to men and women. This is not just for men, it's for women also, just to make sure that we are talking about subjects that really impact people's lives every day, day in and day out. And, for the people that are melanated and also other people, but a lot of us melanated people, we don't want to seek counseling sometimes. So we want to talk about things that may be impacting them on a level where they need to go seek some counseling maybe, but they just don't have the courage or they don't think they need to. But there are a lot of times when we have a lot of things going on in our lives and then we should be seeking counseling for it, Not everything, because we got to build up some resilience, right? You can't be running there because you got a cold. You got to go in there because you got an emergency. The cold is the emergency, the real thing that's going on. Anyway, I'm prior military also. Like I said, we got a lot of things that parallel. Single parent home, grew up, a lot of different experiences. A retired military back in 2004. Still working for the Air Force right now as a civilian. About to retire though and get on that other side of it, another side. Not to throw that out there for Legendary. I know he's trying to get there too. But we really like to have fun. We come in here with some serious topics, but we want to enjoy this. And like he said, we're trying to grow the YouTube account. That's what we're going to migrate to eventually. But we want you all to come join us. We want you all to come join us so we can continue to grow this thing and reach out to a lot of different people and make sure that we are trying to help the people that need the help. And this is just for everybody and out there, everyone and anyone out there. So that's all I got, brother. We can go ahead and jump in there.
Yeah. All right. Lee, Oz, listen, appreciate y'all. Everything that y'all doing. All right. So let's start off, man. Let's talk about, in a sense, kind of allow them to get into our world for a second. Talk about what you feel like what's your morning routine like? So right when you wake up, what happens? What happens in the life of Big Bro Mike G?
So for me, I probably get I average about 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night, bro. I go to bed late. Like right now, I'm already dressed now. It's 5:30. I'm supposed to be at work at 7:30, but I was always told when I was in the military, if you're arriving at 7:30, you late. So I'm always there about 7, sometimes a little bit earlier. But me, I get up, I make me a little breakfast and ease into my day. But I like to ease into my day real quiet, put a little music in the background and stuff, and just meditate on what happened the previous day and the things I thought about, osmosisly in my sleep, and then what I got coming on today. Like today we're in this workshop I was telling you about, and we're trying to wrap it up today and finish it up. But what we do is, so my responsibility now, I'm in charge of the education and training for the public health career field for the Air Force. What that means is that when the pandemic came around, we were dealing with all of those communicative, like the pandemic is what we've been talking about for years, right? We always had the things from 1918 and things like that. But now we have real life data. When we talking to these young people coming into the career field, we can talk about something that they've experienced before. Before we were talking about things that were experienced well before we were all born. So I deal with all things communicable diseases. I deal with inspecting restaurants, inspecting food that comes on the base, and all communicable diseases. So anything communicable diseases, that's what we dabble in. And the last thing is occupational health. Any career field out there that works with hazardous noise or hazardous chemicals, we go out there and educate them to make sure they stay safe out there. So my job is really 4 jobs in one. That's why I tell these young people coming in, when they come in, I talk to them, you are coming into a job where you don't even need a degree. And you ain't gonna get rich at it, but you can be successful at it though, because it parallels to OSHA, the CDC, FDA, USDA. I mean, it goes across all kind of lines, man. So that's my day. I'm normally first one in, last one out, that type of thing. Still got that mentality, but I'm trying to get to the other side. So when I wake up, it's on my time. I got about 2 or 3 more years and I'll be retired, but I'm still enjoying it right now. I really enjoy sharing it, like you, Legendary, when you're talking to the young people. That's where it's at for me, man, because I had somebody, people when I was coming up, they were always there for me, bro. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So I really enjoy giving back and helping out. But I'm ready to pass the baton on to somebody else though, because it's this time so that I can still enjoy my life. I don't want to get to 70 and then I can't do nothing. I'm being wheeled around in a wheelchair or some crap like that. I want to be able to get out there and jump out of planes. Well, oh wait, hold up. I ain't jumping out of no more planes. I did that once. And let me tell you this story, and I'll let you get on there. Bruh, why? First thing that happened, they didn't tell me about the barrel roll. When you come out, you turn upside down. So that was the first thing. I jumped out, and then we turned upside, see the bottom of the plane. The plane just, what the fuck going on, The second thing that happened, they tell you, he tapped you and open your arms up. He tapped me. Then he started doing this.
Not just playing.
I didn't know what, he didn't tell me about that. He didn't tell me about the shaking part. I was like, what's going on? So I didn't find out till I got to the ground, the parachute didn't open, bro. So he was trying to open the parachute. So I'm a one and done guy when it comes to that. I ain't getting I ain't jumping out.
Hell no.
The original opened eventually because he untangled it kind of, but hey, he had to shake it, man. So there is no way in hell, I'm just saying, that you will get me on a plane to jump out of it and it's still flying. I'll take that damn thing all the way to the ground before I jump out of it.
Not the ground, that's tough.
Hey, I'm not jumping out of it. But anyway, that's me in a nutshell. Single dude in a relationship, long-term relationship, long-distance relationship, but just enjoying life and enjoying coming on here and sharing things. I do a little thing on Saturday, which it's going to migrate over to this totally because I think this is going to be the way to go because we want to be able to have the freedom to say say the things that we need to say and not have to watch every word that we say. So we want to have that freedom over on YouTube so we can really talk about things in depth, you know. So that's me in a nutshell.
Okay.
How about you?
All right, so for me, for those who know, again, right, I'm military. I can't tell you the specifics of what my day entails on a day-to-day basis, but what I will tell you is it is mandatory across the Army, right? I want to say military, but I'm going to specifically talk about the Army. I'm in the Army. We do morning PT. PT is physical training, so my day normally starts around 5:15 in the morning. You know, personal hygiene, probably get a snack or two, and then get ready to go to PT. PT again, physical training. We do anything from running to push-ups, like just physical training in general. It's mandatory that we all work out together. Once we get done with that, it's normally an hour and a half. Here it's 2 hours, so it's really from 6 to 8. Sometimes it's 6:30 to 8, but it normally ends around 8. From there, I come back to my room, shower, eat, and then I'm back at work by 09:30. So again, for those of you who don't know, I am the truck master for 95th Trans out here in Korea. I'm not gonna really talk about what happened in the past day and a half. I'm sure you all are all aware as far as what's been happening in Korea. But because of that, it kind of sheltered us in a bit as far as like what we're allowed to do when we go out off post, like, you know, interacting with the civilians or going, you know what I'm saying, to their grocery stores or, you know, the malls, etc. So it kind of, in a sense, limit us what we can and can't do when we go off post now until they lift that order. Outside of that, though, I'm a truck master, so in a nutshell, I just authorize military vehicles to go on and off when it comes to missions. I'm not gonna get in detail with that, but that normally lasts from like 9:30 to like 5, 6, sometimes 7. It just depends on how many trucks that I still have that's out there on mission. Depending on how long it takes them to come back, that's normally when I have to, you know, be done or be there. But outside of this, you know, I've been in going on 19 years. Look, love soldiering, love teaching, mentoring, and in a sense, kind of leading soldiers. But even though I am at a point where I'm at now, I just want y'all to know, like, mentally, I'm done. You know what I mean? That, listen, I appreciate the military for everything it's taught me, everything that I've gained, all the people that I interacted with, etc. But mentally, you know, listen, it's time for a change. All right. And I don't want that to come off negative or negatively, but it's just more so like, listen, it's just time for, you know what I'm saying, something else. That's all it is. Yeah, but that's pretty much what I do in a nutshell. A lot of you ask me, why don't I go out and adventure career? I do, in a sense. Not all the time will I, you know, capture it on my phone, etc. But there are times where, you know what I'm saying, I go out and I adventure out. Most of the time, I'm just eating stuff. All pause, that's crazy. Most of the time, I just go out there and I try different foods, you know, and then I come on back to the room. Why, you ask me? One, I save money. And two, even though this is kind of controversial, I don't like, in a sense, being around a lot of people all the time. Right? It's just my personality. Can I? Absolutely. But if I had a choice, you know, I wouldn't be around a lot of people all the time. But yeah, that's pretty much, you know what I'm saying, what I have or what I do on a day-to-day basis, in a sense. Oh, I forget. And then sometimes I try to squeeze in the lives. I know a lot of you have been like, where have you been? You haven't been live. You haven't been consistent. You haven't been this. You haven't been. And listen, even though I appreciate all of y'all, it is mentally draining sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like coming on to the lives and answering the same questions. And you know how my live is normally set up. Like we kind of bounce around and jump around different topics, different discussions. Not that I don't like that, but you know, doing that every day, you just need a break. Outside of that, you know what I'm saying? We do be in that gym. We go in that gym, man. I'm 6'3". I'm 6'3", about 270. All right. So I don't know how I look on the screen, but in real life, I'm goddamn massive. I am massive. Right? So if you ever run into me,
turn it over tables.
Even though I'm bigger than everybody, all right. When you see me, though, you know what I'm saying, say what's up. You know what I'm saying? I promise you, I'm a real down to earth guy. Yeah. But that being said, though, that's normally, you know, what my day to day consists of without me going into, you know, details about my job. But yeah.
Hey, it's a small asterisk, though. Small asterisk.
As far as
possible promotion, and then the time may extend.
Oh, no, listen, that is a possible asterisk. Even though I don't want to talk about it right now, you know what I'm saying? I need to know more in the sense. So the Air Force and the Army, we get promoted a little differently. They get promoted by tests. We get promoted by like our packets. It gets sent up to Big Army. We compete against every other person in our rank. The higher you go up in rank, the lower the slots is. So the harder it is for you to get promoted. With that being said, there's a possibility of me getting promoted here in January timeframe, January, February timeframe. If that would be the case, I would have to extend to do a little bit longer than 20 years. However, if I don't, I can sign my waiver and say, hey, I'm officially retiring. Y'all got, 9 months. You got a year from now, and then I'm officially retired. So that's normally what it is. But we'll see. I get the promotion, I'm gonna be happy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be happy. If I don't get the promotion, I get ready to retire, I'm gonna be happy. All right, just so we tracking. I'm gonna be happy regardless. Put it all in God's hand, and we'll just see where we go from there.
That's what's up. So for the top three, we do the packages also. We just do the packages also.
I didn't want to miss.
But yeah, man, that's what's up, man. So yeah, I was over there for I did 2 years in Korea. I did 2 years in the Philippines, then went to Korea, did 2 years. I did Osan and Kunsan back a little while back, and I enjoyed both of them. As you know already, Kunsan is way out there. It's that real remote assignment. Osan, like I told you before, it's just that stateside base overseas. It's like, but I really enjoyed my overseas experience, especially in the Philippines. And I went to Turkey also. I did Turkey as well, Izmir, Turkey. But I enjoyed Korea, but I was spoiled. I was young, and I was spoiled from leaving the Philippines, going to Korea. For me, it was like getting out of Mercedes and going into a Toyota Corolla.
Did y'all have curfew on the
personal sense? No curfew.
No curfew?
The only thing we had is that couldn't go down to the alleys. But the guy that I worked for in public health took me down to the alley. I said, man, where you got me? I want to be down here mess with this stuff, man. We talk about this stuff every day. You know what I'm saying? So he took me down there, man, and then all right, I put a little bit out there. I had a bad experience I ain't never go back after this. Let me see how I can say this without getting. So went into this little area.
Okay.
I took off. I had to undo my belt, put it down in the corner.
Okay.
And the music turned up real loud. And I was like, this kind of strange. Why they turn the music so loud? So, laid down, looked around, saw a hand coming up under the curtain, reaching, trying to find the pants, because my wallet. Man, I got up and stomped that hand and got up out of there. And when I left that dude there. I was like, you crazy, man. I almost got jacked, man, messing around with him. That's what he my MO, because I ain't need that. I was hanging with him and stuff. But yeah, man, it was wild. But see, we used to go down there. I don't know if they do it at your base, but we went down and looked at the all the ladies of the night. We had to make sure that they had been tested, came back negative, and that was all documented. So we went down probably once a month randomly and went to all the bars down there. Did it in the Philippines also. So it was they didn't mess with me because I could show them. I had the power. At 21 years old, I had the power to say, we closing this joint down. So they ain't mess with me.
That's that health stuff for you. That's that health stuff for you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, man.
All right, so without getting too personal, like Leon, I'm not trying to get too personal, but what do you feel like is one of your biggest challenges in life that you've had? Like, what do you feel like is your biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge in life, man. I'm just gonna keep it real. Coming from where I came from, bro, and how I grew up, and we kind of have the similar backgrounds. This entire journey in life has been easy. The toughest challenge I've had, to be honest with you, is not dealing with my professional life. It was dealing with my personal life. I've been married twice, so I'm twice married, twice divorced. And the first time I shouldn't have been married. I'm just gonna keep it real, I just wasn't mature enough and ready for that. Second time I went all in, and it just didn't work out. But it was just getting someone to understand that, and I say this to this day, that my partner, I'm not your enemy. Don't treat me like your enemy. When you talk to me, respect me. And if you respect me, you're gonna get me unconditionally. And I went in that thing, the second one, man, I was straight up, I didn't hang out. The only thing I didn't even play golf then. I started playing golf. That's the only time I went out. Other than that, I was at the house doing what I'm supposed to do as a husband and a partner. So it was just getting that person to understand that I wasn't their enemy. And they tried to get it, but we just didn't work out. That's just life, I ain't tripping on it. That's just the way it goes, So, but I'm not against marriage, though. Let me say that right now. I'm not against it.
There you go.
I know there's somebody out there for me, which I think I may have that person now, So we working it out. We'll see how it goes, though. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the biggest thing professionally, bro, this has been the easiest job I could ever have. I tell these young people, man, all you got to do is listen. They're going to give you somewhere to stay. They're going to feed you, and they're going to pay you good. You're going to get a paycheck every 2 weeks. So all you got to do is go to work and do your job and be there on time, and it's going to be easy, man. That 20 years went by so quick, bro. I ain't going to lie, man. But so that was it, though. Personal. It was just to get my partner to understand that I wasn't their enemy. That was my biggest challenge. And it didn't work out, obviously, right? So I'm willing to try it again.
Great. There you go.
How about you?
Adding on to the pay thing, a lot of people don't know. So before the browning that happened last October, before they switched over to the new systems, I'm not speaking for any other branch but the Army. But I used to get paid once a month. So for the past 17, 18 years of my whole military career, I got paid once a month. I got a whole lump sum in the first, and then I kind of just, budgeted, obviously, and then I had to make that last until the following month. That's what kind of forced me to start budgeting. Listen, when I was a private, and before I deployed in my first deployment, my platoon sergeant was like, he was like, hey, all of you who getting paid twice, we're going to change that immediately. Right. So in my head, I'm like, how are we about to get paid? So that's when we had to go down to finance. Right. He marched us all the way down to finance. Right. And we told him, he was like, hey, all these jokers right here, make sure they get paid once a month, not twice a month. A lot of us didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? We like getting paid twice a month, but getting paid once a month at the time, like, you don't understand how it teach you basic fundamentals of not only about money, but how to budget, right? How to, in a sense, save yourself. So the first month that I had my paycheck, right, it was like literally, I was a private, you know what I'm saying? And it was about $3,200, right? First paycheck, lump sum, $3,200, like, and I'm like, oh man, I got a lot of money. Listen, going into week 2, I was broke. I didn't have a cent left. You couldn't tell me where I spent all that money in, right? And then I promised myself, I said, you know what? When I get paid next month, I'm gonna budget. I'm gonna make sure that I get what I need to do, and I'm gonna handle this. Hey, next month, that big lump sum came. I did the exact same thing. I was broke again. I was broke again. Listen, spent it all. Now I was like, why do I keep putting myself like this? And then that third month, you know what I'm saying? That third month, listen, it's sad. You get tired and it's embarrassing to say, hey, I ain't got money. I need a ride. Gas was still cheap back then, but you know what I'm saying? You getting rides because you didn't have gas, or you need to go get vouchers for food. Like, all that's kind of embarrassing, like, especially when you're a profit person. Yeah, that's what really taught me as far as like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. So that's where my financial journey kind of started. But I would tell you this, as far as my biggest challenge that I've had outside of the personal stuff was in the military. I don't really talk about this a lot, but my first deployment, I actually got shot in my rib cage. I had my vest on, so those of you who's wondering about me, I'm fine, clearly. And ended up getting shot. I'm not gonna go in details about like what actually happened, but I'm an 8A Mike. So essentially what that means is I drive trucks for the military. Anything with wheels, we go out the gate, and our job was essentially to bring all class of supplies from point A to point B. That's pretty much it. I'm not infantry, so my job is to support infantry. So if they need food, if they need water, if they need fuel, if they need ammo, any type of medical supplies, any type of barriers, anything like that, no matter what it is, we load it up on our truck, and then we go outside the gate, drive across Iraq, and then drop it off to them. Anyway, long story short, we end up catching a flat while we was in the convoy. All right, we get out, try to assess the situation, and kind of had our guard downtown. Now, again, I'm 18, I don't have the wisdom and knowledge that I have now. And they was like, hey, Private Simon, jump out with maintenance and see what's going on with their tire. So we down there fixing the tire. We take small on fire. Small on fire is just what it sounds like, Boom, 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 boom. And then next thing you know, like I'm literally like seeing red in my face. Like, it wasn't because of blood or nothing like that. It was just I just felt something hot. I had my plates on, I had my vest on. It was just hot, and then I just started seeing red, and then I just blacked out. When I woke up, I was in the hospital. So they had already performed surgery on me. I was already in there for like 4 days. I was out for like 4 or 5 days. And then essentially when I came to, that's when all the military people came. Platoon sergeant, my first sergeant, my commander, they all came. They prayed on me. We talked for a little bit. And then after that, started doing physical therapy. But long story short, though, because I had my plates on, it shattered my plate and it spider webbed my plate. But the pressure of it from hitting my plate just kind of crushed my 3 rib cages on my left side. So that's essentially what happened to me. I still have the scar to prove it, except no, I'm not going to show you. But yeah.
War wounds.
And how we going to tie this in until, what I'm saying, my biggest challenge is essentially when that happens to you at a young age, a lot of people, they kind of tell you what, what they think they're going to do this. So for an example, most of the young soldiers come in now, they say, hey, big soldier, when I deploy with you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, until shit hit the fan, and then you don't know how you're going to respond. So after enduring all that, and then, getting discharged, doing physical therapy, and then saying, hey, I'm 100% continue mission, the biggest challenge again is now going back outside of the wire. That was not only a physical barrier for me, but it was mentally as well, going through that and then saying, hey, you okay, go try again, at 18, 19-year-old, that don't give you a whole lot of confidence. But I did have a good team. I did have the leaders in place to take care of me and ensure, like, hey, if you stick to the training, you stick to this, you stick to that, things are going to be all right. But yeah, that was probably my biggest challenge, outside. Yeah. That was rough.
Right. Like you said, though, man, people, wherever they come from, whatever background or whatever socioeconomic status, they talk a lot of noise about what they're going to do until things start flying around. And you see it, especially at nighttime, you see them things, zing, zing, zing. Right. Things change mentally then.
What's crazy? So we was in up armored vehicle at the time. This was back in 2007. I know, chill. Right, 2007. We was in up on the, and the first time we was taking small arms fire, I was driving and all I heard was ting 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 ting. I'm like, what is that? And I look over at my squally, he knocked out sleep. I'm talking about curtains gone, curtains out. Something too heavy. I'm like, so heavy. What is this noise? He's like, it ain't no noise, Simon. Shut up. Keep driving. Hey, I keep driving. I'm hearing more. Ting 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 ting. They come on the radio. Oh shit, we taking small arms fire. He wake up, start grabbing stuff. He was like, small arms fire. And in my head, I was like, that's it? That's small arms fire? The little ting ting noise. Like when you used to playing video games, Call of Duty, Halo, etc., like they make it seem like, like when the bullet's flying, they make it sound like, it's gonna do a lot of damage. Not saying that it won't, but because I was in the up armored vehicle, it was just ting 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 ting. I'm like, bro, that's what it is. Man, I don't know how I felt about that. I was like, in my head, I'm like, bro, this ain't gonna do nothing to us. I feel secure. But yeah, that was probably, outside of that, that was definitely one of the biggest challenges that I had. All right, so
I can speak for everybody. I think we're fortunate that you had them plates on.
Oh yeah, listen, that's something they didn't play about. You know what I'm saying? Like there are some leaders who's real lackadaisical as far as like when we out there in the quote unquote unknown. That's like, hey, be light as possible. But then like me, I grew up in like, nah, you gonna wear all your gear. And I'm so glad that I grew up in that era, because had I not, I don't know. All right, so but moving on though, what do you feel like people misunderstand about you in a sense? Like what's something that you consistently feel like people misunderstand about you, if anything?
They take my kindness. They take my kindness and think that I'm that soft guy. But then when I, at our positions, I was a senior NCO also. Yeah, I'm a laugh and joke. I'm gonna have a great time, But at the end of the day, when it's time to do the business, it's time to do the business. Like this week, for instance, we were in there, right? And I told them at the very beginning, I put the cell phones up and no computers, and pay attention to the briefers. We do this once a year. I need your undivided attention, man. Why at the second briefing, cell phones going on, computers going? I told my boss, I'm the deputy. I told my boss, I said, she said, I already know. I closed that door out, boy. That this changed. this changed. But they take the kindness. You know, I had a young lady on here when I first started coming on here. She said, I could tell by the way you are, I wouldn't date you. I said, why you say that? She said, you just seem too. So I said, that's cool. I mean, I'll take that. I don't want to date you no way. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming here to have a good time. But they take that the wrong way. You know, a lot of times they think that because you're nice and you try to respect people, things that you don't have the other gear. But believe me, from where I came from, I had the other gear, but that's break glass in case of emergency. Though I don't need to use that every day. I use that when I need to use it. But that's it for me, though, man. Just people just misunderstanding that, you know, I'm all jokes. I like to have a good time until it's time to take care of business. Then I need to take care of business. So this is what's afforded me to have the life that I have. So I'm gonna make sure I take care of this part. You know what I'm saying?
So, you know, and it's funny, this is how and why we feel like we're so similar, because in a sense, like, you can see how my personality is, for a lot of times, my kindness get taken for weakness as well. And then, you know what I'm saying, when I get the flipping table, it's the angry black guy now, you know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, a lot of my soldiers, in a sense, like, you know, they know me as a person, they understand the rank, they understand the position that I'm in, but at the same time, like, listen, when it's time to get done and I get serious, I get serious. Going on until like the personal aspect, a lot of people feel like, oh, you just this nice, cuddly teddy bear, like you don't do X, Y, and Z, etc. Right? And a lot of times, I say like, once I'm in, I'm in. But if I ever turn that switch on and I say fuck it, like I mean that wholeheartedly. And a lot of people like, you know what I'm saying? When you say you done, you ain't done until I say I'm done, and I'm done, and then people really see that, hey, okay, buddy wasn't playing. He wasn't playing around. He was serious. So, how we are similar in that aspect, I get that all the time. And then when people see me go off, they're like, damn, Charles, I didn't know you was like that. Like, yeah, I say, listen, there's a time and a place. You know, there's a time and a place. Especially going off when you first get to a new duty station and people don't really know who you are in a sense. That's why it's important for me to to kind of engage with all of the leaders and the soldiers that I'm gonna have, you know, under me or in my charge in a sense, because I want them to know, like, listen, you're gonna get this out of me, but if it ever became as far as like me being my job and me enforcing standards and discipline, I'm gonna do that, like no hesitation whatsoever. You know, so
right.
Yeah,
I totally get that, man, because I'm the same way right now, because I love going in there and interacting with the young people coming in, but then see, they're not used to that now. They kind of people kind of little soft with them, right? But I'm old school, man. I bring them in that office, man. They know when I bring them in that office and close that door, everybody be listening. What are you gonna say this time? Because I'm about to tear some stuff up. But on the personal level, though, the same thing, man. You know, they think the personalities where we're going to be the nice guy and get run over. But as you've said before, and I've said it before on my platform as well, is that I was no good. I'm just going to be straight up and honest. I did some things I'm not really proud of, you know, because I was a nice guy. People take you for granted, you know, and think that you're not that dude. I didn't know pretty boy, but I had pretty boy tendencies, though. So I was out there, and I didn't lack it. I didn't lack it anything. Exactly. That's to be honest with you. That's why they tried to get me to come here when I was active duty to be an instructor. Like 2 or 3 times, I had people that knew me. Oh, you'd be a great instructor. I said, man, look here. I am 25. I'm 27 years old. I cannot handle that atmosphere right now. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't have that kind of control. I am not coming there and putting myself in that position because I don't want to get in trouble for doing something that's a natural thing for a man and a woman, you know. So I'm not coming down there because even now, man, you'll be surprised, man. These little young ladies, they be like, "Oh, Mr. Gate, hey, no, you could be my daughter. What's wrong with you? You can't get off of me." It's crazy, man.
You know, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. As me being a prior instructor, that's rule number 1. That is rule number 1. Before safety, it's before safety. Hey, rule number 1. Don't them goddamn don't them soldiers are. No, that is rule number 1 as an instructor. Those of you who are in the military and you thinking about going to be an instructor, it can be AIT, it can be BOC, AOC, SLC, etc. That's the number 1 rule. So when you are an instructor and they're your students, you do not cross that line. That is number 1. Don't cross. Let me tell you. So the first time that I genuinely felt that, not for me as like, you know, wanting to talk to her in a sense, it was the other way around. I'm teaching, and you know how you can just tell when people staring at you, and then you can tell when people looking at you differently in that aspect, right? So most of the time when you're teaching, obviously people are gonna look at you, you know. But with her, it was like when I walked past her, she stared at me every time. No. Listen what I'm saying. And she would not look away. Most people, like, you know what I'm saying, if a female stare at you, if a woman stare at you, and you look at it, she gonna look away. You know what I'm saying? She gonna kind of just, to kind of make it incognito. Her, she stared at me every time I walked by her. And then, like, after a week, you know what I'm saying, I was like, listen, I got one of my NCL like coming off with me, and I called her in there. And I was like, hey, listen, I'm not trying to make things uncomfortable, and I'm not trying to jump to conclusions. Everything okay? And she was like, yes, what's going on? And I was like, listen, I just want to know what's the reason as far as like you staring at me when I pass by you all the time. And she was like, Sir Simon, you are a good looking man. I said, oh my God. She straight up told me, hey, I looked at Son Brown, I was like, listen, I appreciate that, but you understand where you at. You in trade-off, you know what I'm saying? So I went down the whole NCO lane with her. But after that, I don't want to say it was awkward, but after that, you can tell like she kind of like forced herself to not stare at me. But that was the first time that it genuinely felt like, I was like, oh, okay, this is really happening. Like, you know what I'm saying? Most people, when they stare at you look at them, they'll look away. She stared at me the whole time. She didn't give a damn.
Yes.
Like,
and they don't. They don't.
Especially when I walked past her to go to my office, she just stared at me. I was like, oh, what's going on? Man, that's crazy.
That was the toughest thing, man. And I realized that I wasn't strong enough because I was young, you know, so I wasn't going down there to deal with that.
Right. And you know what's crazy? Like you know how you have those onesies and twosies who just gonna not necessarily try you, but try to, you know what I'm saying, slide little slick hints there, slick, you know what I'm saying? Every class. But listen, rule number one still applies, all right? And listen, I'm not about to lose my job for messing with any of these soldiers like that. But yeah, so let's see what else we got. How are you different than your old self from last year? So like, if you had to compare yourself personally from this year to last year, what type of growth have you seen, if anything?
Bro, let me tell you, what I've had to deal with. So last year in 23, I was in a 1-car accident. Ooh. I almost wasn't here. So that forced me twice to be totally reliant on people, that I had to put my pride aside. I had to rely on people when I was used to taking care of myself. So that really, and that was for like 4 or 5 weeks. It wasn't a week. It was 4 or 5 weeks. So I had to totally rely on other people to get around, get to work, get my food, all that. You know, so it's really put God. You know, God worked on me, bro. I'm just gonna be honest. He said, "You're too prideful, man. You know, you made it all this way, but you got here because I brought you here. You didn't do it on your own. Don't think you did it on your own. You know." So I had to really let that go. And then this year, you know, I tore my knee up. This year, the same thing is that. But I've been better at it though. So I learned. That's why I know I've changed, because I was willing to help people, willing to accept the help, willing to do it, and I didn't have a problem doing it. But I still try to do things on my own because I'm trying to do it myself first. That's just who I am. But when I couldn't do it, I didn't have a problem reaching out and asking people for help and assistance, you know. And I put my pride aside because I realized in life, and I've always known it, but I was never in the position I had to do it. I always said, if you need something, let me know. I'm there for you. I'm there for you. I'm there for you. And I was always there for them. But when I had to rely on it to do it for myself, I had a hard time doing that, man. I really did.
Ooh, I had a couple of surgeries as well, and I'm telling you, they're like you know what I'm saying, doing things on your own. Then people are saying they're gonna be there for you until you need them, and then you making it. They actually saying it, but it feels like you an inconvenience for them. Like, yeah, that kind of just makes you, all right, well, let me just figure it out. You know, let me handle the business my way. Okay, but yeah, I definitely understand that. For me, it's simple. It's complicated, but it's simple. It's more so of me not expecting things from other people that I would genuinely do for, you know what I'm saying, for myself or for other people. So for an example, like I use this term all the time, or this analogy all the time. Like, so when it comes to love, right, you need to love people how they want to be loved and not how you think they should be loved or they want to be loved in a sense, right? Because we'll tell you what's wrong. We'll tell you how we feel. You know what I'm saying? We express that, but in your mind, you're like, you know what? I like it this way, so I know he or she would too. That same concept is what I'm saying when it comes to me having expectations for other people. Not saying that, you know, my expectations are low or whatnot, but what I am saying is I understand that the people I interact with who are, you know, X, Y, and Z with, like, I understand that they are different from me. We got different backgrounds, different beliefs, different thought process, etc. Like, we're not the same person. So with me not expecting things from people that, you know, I would normally do in the aspect, just kind of just gave me a sense of, I don't want to say relief, but the stress level just went down tremendously, you know? And then with me doing that, I kind of found out, like, the things that I in a sense can't control, I don't worry about. And the things that I can control, you know, I'm controlled to the best of my abilities. So as far as that goes, that's what I've learned and how I would compare myself from last year to now.
I like that what you said about loving people the way they need to be loved versus how you want to love them. Because we often go in there thinking that we got it all figured out and we know what's best for me and that person. And really we don't. Because we expect them to love us the way we want to be loved, right? But we vice versa, we don't do that. So I like that because that will help your relationship go a long way, man. As far as being able to communicate, being able to read that person, and that person, if people don't, that gets you more in the long run than the opposite way because they realize you're loving them, you're listening to them, and that listening part is important to women. And a lot of people, when guys don't get that, that's when they miss out on it because if you listen and you follow through with the things that a woman is asking you to do, man, you can have all the money in the world, and if you ain't doing that, you can't get nothing. But the other person can get whatever they want, you know?
Absolutely. And then piggybacking off that, hearing and listening is two different things. Hearing it is you just, in a sense, just hearing noise. So, for an example, if I was in a room and I'm watching TV, I could probably hear my refrigerator going off, but I'm not listening to it. Listening is you decoding things that you're hearing so that you're able to answer back in a sense. So I want people to know that that's the difference between hearing something and then listening to something. So if you didn't know that, like, you know, try to apply the listening aspect more so than the hearing aspect, right? So we tracking.
And the most important thing, Legendary, it goes both ways though. You know, a lot of times women think they're gonna treat us like a mother figure. We don't need a mother. We need a partner and a friend that respects us.
There you go. There you go. All right, what you got? What kind of questions we got?
So somebody said, what's been your biggest challenge in a relationship?
My biggest challenge in a relationship. And you know, it's simple, but it's hard at the same time. It's more so just communication. That's what it's been. It's been communicating. I'm only going to speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for no one else. All right, only for myself. There's a lot of times to where I felt like things were insignificant and that I shouldn't have to bring it up or I shouldn't have to talk about it when I was in a relationship like that, right? Even though I think it's small or I think it's insignificant or I don't think it matters, I've learned over time that, you know, maybe you should bring those things up. And it comes to the point to where I allow them to choose instead of me choosing for them in a sense, right? I've learned just talking about it, whether good, bad, big, small, just talking about it just kind of gives that person, you know, the opportunity to choose what they want to do with the information that was given to them. So that's pretty much it. I mean, you know, I say this all the time. There are multi-million, multi-billion-dollar companies that have a problem with communication. I'm not saying that, you know, to just push it away to the side, but that's an everyday task that you have to work on every day. Soon as you get complacent, soon as you feel like, oh, you know, they just read my thoughts, they read my mind, etc., that's when things start to go downhill.
Yeah. I like the communication thing. I think that's the bedrock, that's the foundation for any relationship. If it's open, honest, respectful communication, because we can talk about things, and if I'm not honest about how I'm feeling, or how I feel about a situation or how I react in a situation, it does you no good. So I've learned, that's another thing I've learned from, you know, last year. I'm totally different now. Any relationship I get into, I'm open and honest. I'm gonna try to be respectful, but I'm gonna be open and honest about what I got to say, because that person, in order for that person to make an informed decision about us, they have to know where I'm coming from. They have to know my true feelings about it. And I expect the same thing. No, I'm not saying go in there from day one on the first date and regurgitate everything about you. But I am saying, though, you have to be open and honest from the very beginning so that when you do show something later on, they'll know it's coming. Because if you show something different, that's going to be a negative that's going to be a red flag for your relationship. So you have to be open and honest when you first go into it.
There you go. And then on top of that, right, just adding on, not allowing things that bother you, not to allow it to escape, and then you allow that new standard to set in place. So when things bother you, say something. Even if you feel like it's small or insignificant, the same aspect, right? What they don't know, in a sense, you can't really hold them accountable. Even though we all feel like, oh, you're an adult, you should just know stuff. You should just know that I don't like this. You should, even though in our mind that may make sense, but to the other person, maybe they genuinely just don't know. So not to say that, what I'm saying, we bitch moan, like complain about stuff, but it's more so of like you just allowing your partner to know how you feel. And then when things arise, right, you just being able to communicate that effectively. If things bother you in their relationships, tell them. Allow them chances to fix the problem, right? And then don't just quit immediately because, again, it falls onto the same context. No one's perfect. If you're looking for the perfect person, they don't exist. You're going to be looking forever. No one is going to be perfect. There are people who are perfect for you, but there aren't perfect people. So when things bother you, same thing with the women, right? If things bother your relationship, speak up about it, right? You ain't got to be aggressive. We're adults. Just like, hey, you did this. I didn't like that. I would appreciate if you did X, Y, and Z. And then, that's something that can be brought up. We talk about, and then we leave with some type of compromise. You know what I'm saying? So we're all on the same page. But yeah, that's what I got out there.
I love what you said, bro. That we're not mind readers, and we can't expect them to be mind readers. It's just that will not work. That has never worked, and it will not work. It's going to lead to a lot of disaster. All right, this is one that I think we both talked about on our platforms. Uh-oh. And does it matter about the body count?
Man, that whole double standard thing, but it's so real though. I'll tell you this, and like I always start off anytime we go to the body count question. All right, I'm only speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for men right now. Me, I don't ask questions I don't want the answer to. So we understand that, right? The answers are, what I'm saying? Listen, if I don't want the answer to that question, it'll never come up for me. I won't ask it. That's one of the questions that I would, in my mind. And I get it. A lot of people is like, oh, it's a safety thing, it's this, and I understand that. But there are just some things that I would just rather just not know. But going on to the body count thing, right? I use this analogy all the time. All right, so grandma, right? She's like, hey, be careful who you lay down with, because when you're doing that, there's soul ties, whether you wanted to or not. And this is the example that she gave me. And I say it all the time. Just imagine a piece of duct tape. When you first stick it to the wall, it sticks. It's hard to pull off. It's hard to come off. All right, you rip it off, new relationship. You put that same tape back on. All right, the relationship don't work out. You rip it off, another relationship. You put that same tape back on. If you understand what happens with the tape, the more that you take it off and put it back on, the more unlikely it is to stick to the wall. All right. So with that being said, just be careful of who you're doing these soul ties with, and who you laying down with, because what you're doing unintentionally, right? Some of us probably doing it intentionally, is you allowing yourself to remove emotions and the love aspect and the joy and the romantic aspect of being in love and having sex, in a sense. So just be careful with that. All right, getting to.
Hold on 1 second. I got a question. Did you see the question from? Can you see my questions also? My comments. It's Elise said if she volunteers it, does the amount matter? What you mean if she volunteers, does the amount matter? Like if she just the number that the body count, the number she's been with. Oh, like if she just tells you, I'm gonna tell you I've been with such and such number.
Listen, and then with that being said, this is why I don't want to know, because in my mind, I could be wrong. This is kind of contradicting to what we just talked about. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people are going to tell you the truth anyway. Just so that they can make themselves look good. But if she tell you she's been with 30, if she tell you she's been with 30 or 40 people, does that matter? Woo! Don't avoid answering the question now. I just want you to know. And women, when I say this, I don't want you to feel like I'm picking at y'all or etc. But listen, if you've been with 30 to 40 people, you got to reevaluate yourself respectfully, and I mean that in the most respectable way. That means that the people you're choosing, you just don't give a damn about. Like there's no way you can genuinely tell me that you fell in love with 30 people and 30 people messed up, right? Even if it's just, you know what I'm saying, a one night stand or etc. Like, just, woo, you got a lot of you got some soul coaching to do, and I mean immediately, because you hit that 30 range, bro. You're already tapped out. My body count,
right? Okay, let me say this then. Let me say this. I think it matters now, but when you're younger, 18, you know, teenager, young 20s, you can't hold that against someone, because just as I was maturing, they were maturing. So if it and it still really doesn't matter to me either way, because at the end of the day, it's a double standard. It's a double standard. Okay, let me tell you this. Unfortunately for me, my babysitter is the one that turned me on to that. I was 9-10 years old when they tried. The babysitter was 14. So at the time, I didn't realize it was molestation, but it was, though, even though she was 14. And at 10 years old, let me tell you, this is what I normally say. I can say it on here. At 9, I started trying. At 10, it slipped in.
Around that time, I was still with goddamn Power Rangers, Pokemon, Digimon. Yeah.
And that's what I say, man. So by her doing that, it had me thinking about things. I should have been thinking about race cars and electric football and stuff like that. But at 10 years old, 11 years old, now I'm thinking about stuff that I shouldn't even known about. So for me, I started earlier than most people would start. So if my body count, you know, went from whatever to whatever, from 11 to 25, are you going to hold that against me now at my age now? Or are you going to realize that that's something that I experienced? It was like a trauma thing for me. I got molested, and mentally I wasn't able to deal with that in a sense, you know. So I think it's situational. Now, if I got a person that, okay, for everyone that don't know, I'm stop saying that. I'm a little old. Let me say it like that. If I have someone my age and they're still out there once or twice a week doing different people every week, that's a problem. Because eventually you got to learn and you got to mature. You got to realize that you shouldn't be doing that to your body. And also from I'm in public health, right? A public health standpoint, like you said, I heard you say it. Someone said it's putting yourself at danger of catching something. So you have to be. So I think it's situational. I don't hold it against people, especially if it happened when they were younger, because I went through a different situation as most people did. You know. So, all right, that's it.
Yeah, but man, golly, like I'm sorry that happened, but man, at that age, dude, I was still Digimon, Pokemon. I was outside, goddamn Power Rangers, all that. You know, it's crazy. I didn't lose my first time. I was 17 years old. First time, 17 years old, and then the problem was when I felt it.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's addictive. It's addictive.
Hey, after that, I was like, this what I've been missing. Exactly. And then from there, it just got. And you know what? And I say this all the time because this is why we talk about stuff like this. Like I say this all the time, right? I am not the same person that I was back then. How I am now. Right. And I say this all the time. I've hurt people. I've been hurt. Some things were intentional. Some things was unintentional. But in my early 20s, like right when I got divorced, after that, dude, I went on a rant. You know what I mean? Like I was just, you know, just moving freely. You know, just
so with that being said, Legendary, I'm sorry to cut you off, but with that being said, so why would body count matter now if it's something similar for the young lady that happened and then she's changed now?
Right.
Say for instance, she had 20 at that age.
Right.
And then now she's only had maybe 1 or 2 in the last 10, 15 years.
And I understand that, which is why I led off with, I understand it's a double standard. And I also say this all the time. I say this all the time. If I feel like, you know what I'm saying, this is going to be a partner, I would rather not know how many people you slept with. I would just rather just not know. That's me. That's why I say me.
So is that something you say up front? Then I understand you may want to talk about it, but I don't want to know about that. It's unnecessary.
Oh yeah.
So that way they don't tell you.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
when we get to that point, like, listen, you know what I'm saying? Listen, and then you can kind of gauge, even though I know that a lot of women not going to feel like this is true, but as a man, you can kind of gauge the experience of a woman. You know what I'm saying? Once you get to that point, and you get down with the get down. Right. Now, so for example, if I'm sitting back and I'm enjoying it too much, and I'm enjoying, like, first off, I'm gonna be ecstatic and pissed off at the exact same time that you working. I promise. And the reason why I say that is because, one, it feels tremendously outstanding. It feels great. Secondly, who the fuck taught you this? Right? Where did you learn this? How did you pick this up? Why are you a professional? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why it's important, ladies. Listen, just hear me out. All right. And I understand the first time that you do it with your new person, you want to go all in. There's levels to things that should be unlocked. All right. So if you first starting off, listen, you do a little bit of this. All right. You kind of gauge. You see how your person feel about that. The next time it happens, you know what I'm saying, you ramp it up a little bit. Don't just go all in on that first one, because you got to understand, you still learning your person. If your person is not comfortable with that and he is just trying to keep up, you got to understand what you're doing. All right. So when you set that bar like that, just be careful what you're doing. All right. But yeah, again,
we think a little bit differently. We think a little bit differently on it. Go ahead.
Okay. What you got?
Brother, I'm appreciative that they got that experience. I leave that alone. I'm not tripping. What happened before me, and now I'm reaping the benefits because I got the pearl. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. Thank you for learning this, so you don't have to teach it. You don't have to learn.
Listen, and then on top of that, this is why. That's why I say I'm talking about me. This is why, you know what I'm saying. It kind of ties into that. There are just some people who would say on a woman aspect, that's like, you know what, I want to wait until I get married, or I want to wait until X, Y, and Z. That's all fine and dandy. You know what I'm saying. But the problem is, what if you wait that long, and then things aren't what they seem or what they appear to be, right? And then now
I got the answer for you.
And now what you got?
That's when you take the opportunity to teach them how you want them to be, and you just enjoy yourself.
I understand that, but I'm not talking about. Listen, I'm not talking about that the advance. Oh man, come on! Tell me to touch the screen. Hold on, let me touch this.
Not too much on the eyes.
Hey, look, she always say I do that. Yeah, I'm not talking about the experience level. I'm talking about what you do, the health codes aspect. You know, you getting in there and then things ain't what it's supposed to be. And you like, hold on now. This whole time you had this like this, and you knew. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Right.
I got you. Yeah. So with that being said, that's a hard thing. I had this young man I was interviewing one time back over in we were in the Philippines. And he came in, man, he was probably about 22, 23 years old. This was it was in the 80s, you know, early, mid 80s. And he said that he had, it's just a medical term, herpes. He had herpes. He thought his life was over. This dude was contemplating committing unaliving himself because he said, I can't get married. Nobody's going to want me. I can't have kids. So, man, I was probably only about 24 myself, you know, but thankfully I had the maturity of doing the interviews where we talked for about 2 hours. Normally it's about a 30-minute thing, you get them out of there. But I told myself, I'm going to be in here for a minute, so I just shut it down. But what I had to make him understand was with that, you can still live a normal life, but you need to make sure that you let what I said before, open, honest communication, that you let your partner know so they can choose whether they want to be there or not, because you have to, because eventually you're going to stop using that coat, right. You know, and then what then? So yeah, it can be very traumatic, and a lot of people go through that when I've sat in the room and interviewed them, you know. So anyway, yeah, I understand what you're saying now. That part, people have to be open and honest about it. It's right. No maybe, they have to be. Okay, we got a question real quick before we miss it. Somebody said, how can you overlook his count and not feel insignificant or live up or live up to what he's been with.
How can you overlook that in a sense?
Yeah.
I
Said, how can you?
That's very subtle. To where, this is where it comes into play. To where I don't feel like people are genuine as far as like the amount of people that they slept with in a sense. And then on top of that, a lot of people aren't as comfortable as they make it seem in a sense, right? Again, this is just from my own experiences. Right? There's been people who I'm talking about talk the talk, and when it came down to it, I was like, you know what I'm saying? They just made it seem like it was unbelievable, and at the same time, it was more so average. So, when it comes to that aspect, I don't know. I'm only assuming though. On the woman's side, I would just genuinely feel like it's the person's tolerance. I think it's different when a dude tell you that he been with 40 something women. You like, okay, that's a little excessive, but we can handle it. Versus a man saying that he been with 200 plus women. Now, you know what I'm saying? I think that just hit a little differently. What you think? What
I think 200 is excessive. Let me just say that. I don't care who you are. 200 is excessive, but I just think it depends on where you're at now. I still stand by what I said. Yes, that happened. I don't know when they were going through that 200, what they were going through, but hopefully they didn't bring nothing with them. But even that, though, to be honest with you, even that, if it's just the one thing I just mentioned a few minutes ago, you have to really make a decision, because people live. I mean, this is one thing people don't understand. It doesn't matter about socioeconomic status. It doesn't matter about whether you're poor. I mean, whether you're nasty or clean. And I don't know the exact numbers, but the last time I looked, it was about 70 to 80% of the population has some form of that. So if you're going to stand by that, then you can end up being by yourself, because 70 to 80% of the population is rolling around every day with that, whether it's up here or down there.
It's crazy. They say this every base we go to. Y'all be careful. This base got the highest rated STDs. Every base that I've ever been to, they always said that. Every last
That's
one.
Crazy. I've never seen it. Now, I can't say in the Philippines that was true. We had a clinic that we saw average about 30 to 40 people a day, and all that clinic did was just that. And that was it. All right, let me see. I don't want to. Let me read this real quick. I don't know if you saw it. One of our partners said, but you can get experience with being with one person for a long time, which I agree with that. You can. And then someone else said, the one thing they said if you move to another state where your body count is 0, does that clear you?
Hell no, that don't clear you. Hell no.
Body count is body count.
Body count is absolutely body count. I'll tell you this though, when it comes to that, man, listen, I'm not putting my business out by any means, right? But I'm not an aggressive person. Like, you know what I mean? I'll say this, and I know that this is going to be, a little different for most people, but when it comes to the I am not aggressive. Like, I'm more of a passionate, like soul twined when it comes to the aspect of me, getting it in for the one time. A lot of people want to goddamn be choked, tied. Listen, anything to do with pain, anything to do with choking, spitting, swapping stuff, that's not me whatsoever. Again, I'm not trying to put my business on, but it's more so like you just got to understand, like there are people who just aren't as, I don't want to say freaky in a sense, but you got to understand that it's okay that they're not like you. Right, because there's been times where it's like, oh, you're not aggressive enough. I needed to just beat my. I'm like, that's crazy work. Like all the time. Listen, I can see 1 or 2 occasions to where it's like, all right, you know what I'm saying, we got to put in some work. But for the most part, listen, it should be pain free and it should feel exquisite. You know what I'm saying?
Not exquisite.
It should be fireworks with like slow. You know what I'm saying? Like that's me, and it's crazy because like saying that out loud, like I can just feel like it's just like, oh no, I need to just beat my, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, that's not me. That's just me. And then listen. I'm not. Listen, this is my biggest thing, and I'm not trying to put my business out, but I am not a choker at all. There's nothing about me putting my hand around that is gonna turn me on whatsoever. Like it's not. If that happens, let's say that she takes my hand and she put it around her neck, I'm gonna move my hand. And if she put it back, I'm done. Like you know what? Mid-stroke, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not a turn. Like you're turning me off. I don't like that. And I don't know where that came from to where it's like, hey, put your hand around my choke me and then just. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's just not my personality.
I totally understand, man. I totally understand. I get it. You know,
what's your take? What's your take?
So let me say this. Being in this job, brother, I've learned people are crazy. The things that they do, man. Whether it's the golden flow, defecation.
That's
I mean, come
crazy.
on, what?
Oh my God.
What?
What?
But I can't. But when I'm in that room, oh really? You do it really? Okay. But when I leave out, oh my, something is wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
we're taking this way too far.
I would have to say something immediately. You know what I'm saying?
You can't say nothing. You can't say nothing.
Oh, you mean your people that the health?
Yeah. I've never experienced that in person.
Your partner, I was like, God,
no. I would be done. I would be done then. But so
absolutely.
I think you have to reach across the table with your person, but they also have to understand where you're coming from if you're not into that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a give and take, I think. I'm with you though, because my choking may be something that harm you or your throat or whatever. So I don't know. I'm with you on that though.
Listen, nothing about that turns me on at all. Like I don't even know where that came from, where it started, but nothing about that turns me on like at all. Like I don't understand. Maybe it's just something that's just blocking me from getting to that point to where it's like I'm about to just choke shit out you. Like I just don't know. And the crazy part about it is I've been around the block a couple of times. All right, you know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? I've had my fun. And I would tell you at least 45% of them wanted me to choke them.
And the number probably higher. Some of them just shy and wouldn't say it.
like legit. Like put their hand or put my hand, like force my hand to go on their throat. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh no. I move my hand and then you put it there again, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And they're like, what do you mean you're done? Like I'm putting my clothes on. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
bouncing. I'm going.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but listen, I'm not with the pain stuff. My love language is physical touch, so nothing about my hands can be tied up. I don't know why that's a thing. I can see, like I can visually see how that could be stimulating, but actively doing it to me, no. You know what I'm saying? Because I express myself through touch, and if I can't touch you in that aspect, and my hands tied, no, we're not having that. No, that's crazy work.
Yeah, understood.
All right, let me chill.
No, you good, bro.
Look at eyes.
Oh man, how do we jump from that one? What I say?
How we got that, but all right.
We need some physical touch.
Look, let's say that for the YouTube.
Exactly.
What's
so changing subjects? Oh, you got a question?
Alexa. Look at Alexa in the chat laughing. Who had a question?
I don't think we can see each other's comments today though, like we did the other day.
What you mean? I can't see you. I can't see yours.
I don't think so. Because I'm at, I said, Lee said I'm staying in the corner. Then someone else said, it said because we're both live.
Oh, dang. We got to figure that out.
Yeah. We have to try it again. So maybe I'm okay with doing, if you want to just work it out, come on tomorrow morning for a little while and try it out and just talk so we can fix it up. Because I got about 20 more minutes. I'm going to bounce out of here. But we can try.
Are we talking after this or no?
What's that?
Are we talking after this or no? You gonna work?
Yeah. We'll talk tomorrow though, because I'm gonna try to give you as much time as I can today, and then I'm gonna have to bounce after that. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. So if you want to come on again tomorrow morning, we can do it. But then we're gonna go on Saturday night also, though. So, and I'm okay with doing both, though. So we can figure this part out.
Okay. All right.
After join your panel. So if you want to do it tomorrow, we can tomorrow morning for a little while, and we'll just do the same thing, and then we'll do the actual show tomorrow night.
I'm talking about the group talk. We're doing this after this or tomorrow?
No, tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it may get a little long winded, just tomorrow would be better. I don't think it will though, I don't think it's gonna do that because of the four of us, but you just never know where we're gonna go. So I think we'll be good. Y'all can do it in the last 5 minutes. He can stay. Okay, we can try if you want to try it now, because I got about 20 minutes, so maybe the last 5 minutes we can try it then while I'm here today. I'll just go out and then try to come back in and join yours.
I mean, I don't think it's worth it, no.
Okay, so we just do it.
We'll
it's whatever. It was just a recommendation from one of the behind the scenes persons.
No disrespect to that, but I mean, like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So we'll do it first thing. We'll come on tomorrow then. First thing.
There you go.
And we don't have to come on as early, but if you want to come on if you want to do it at earlier, we can. It's up to you because I know that'll be your nighttime. So just let me know what time, and I'll be there whatever time you decide.
Hold on. You mean Sunday for me? Because tomorrow, I thought we was going live on the 7th.
Yes. Well, so
that's Sunday morning for me.
Sunday morning for you. But I mean for tomorrow morning though.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So we can test this out so that we don't try to do it when we go live for the first time.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So if whatever time you want to go on tomorrow morning, if you have the time, we can do it, and we can come on and just do that if you want to, and then jump off and then save everything else for the night and for the morning for you. But
okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm off,
okay,
so I might go into town tomorrow. Gotta get me some more winter clothes. All right.
Okay, that's what's up. Well, just let me know. I'll be available. Shoot me a message and let make sure that Lee and Eyes know about it, and then we can come on here and try to work it out.
You have to join my panel. I will hold my questions for that time. Nah, you can go ahead and ask Johnny. We got like 15 minutes. Go ahead. What you got? Questions? Yeah. Y'all got questions? Come on. We can
bring it on. Hey, take care. So yo, have a nice day, Roxanne. Good night, Dunk Smoke.
Roxanne.
Is Johnny over there?
Yeah, Johnny over there.
Tell her I said, what's up, Johnny? She be coming in live when we be in there cutting up.
Johnny, Mike G said, what's up?
See, I thought about that when I said it. She can hear me.
Right. Hey, look, just want to make sure I relay that.
I appreciate you. Oh man.
What's up, man? What y'all got? We got a little time.
Yeah, because it's like 19 degrees here today, dog.
19 degrees.
Wind chill of 8. So I'm gonna start that car in about 10 minutes. I'm gonna do that auto start in a minute. Oh yeah, I got it. I'm about to pump it on in a few minutes. Yeah, man, please. Right, hey, auto start, heated seats, heated steering wheel, all of it.
Show off. You got the cool seats too?
Not cooling, just the heated. I don't need the cooling.
Showing off. Look, I thought we were showing off.
No. It's a necessity.
14 degrees. Where y'all at?
Cold.
I'm in Korea, so today was pretty good. Right now it's 42 degrees right now. Mike G, I can hear you, man. The auto start is great. Cincinnati, Ohio. Dang, I got people in Ohio. Just playing.
Someone said they're in Cincinnati? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm in Dayton, so I'm about an hour from them. I'm about an hour north of them.
It's 46 in Houston. Supposed to drop though. Ooh, hey, it's cuddle season, ain't it?
Come on, Johnny. Ask the question. Cause I'm gonna have to bounce in a minute. What's up, Jay Little? Welcome in.
Janelle, how are you?
What up, CP? How you doing, CP? You going to CP? You going to see? Are you gonna go see Gladiator this weekend, CP?
Big awesome.
Gladiator was good. I enjoyed it, bro. Do y'all get the current movies? I know they used to get the current movies over there when they were released out there. Y'all still get them over there?
We're a big city, and folks always think that we're a small little town. I mean, all I know is Cleveland, for real.
Cleveland is much colder than here. Like last week, we got like a little dust in the snow. They got over a foot of snow.
Woo! I know I've been changing.
That's why I'm trying to leave, man. That's why I'm trying to leave. Them balls get cold.
Because they stay warm, so that's crazy.
Yep.
Good morning, gentlemen. And you, good morning. No, y'all got nothing?
How you doing today?
Well, look, if we ain't got nothing, I still got 15 minutes. Well, give me some Subway. So.
Right? You got to eat, man. You better go get your Subway. I already had my little eggs this morning. I have like 3 over hard eggs every morning.
Listen, I got to eat. That's why I'm so slim. I got to eat. You know why? Go get the Subway.
Yeah, go get your Subway, man. Get you something to eat, bro.
What question? Let me see. What question? You didn't repost it. I didn't see it. It's not showing up. Look, but now you got to hold it till tomorrow.
I got time. The reason I have to go in a little bit earlier right now is because I got this. I got a temporary handicap pass. And if I don't park where I park at, I probably have to walk about a football field to get into my building on these crutches. So that's why I be hustling in there. Because right now I can park right in front of the building. So if I get there by like 7:05, I'm good.
Bad problem to have. Gotta park though. Go ahead and get the parking spot.
Them crutches, bro. Them crutches in that one leg.
You trying to do the outro? You trying to do the outro?
What's the outro?
You know, you telling
them.
Yo,
you need to go get something to eat, man. You got to get you something to eat, bro.
Nina, hey,
if they don't have a question.
She said, "What's Parallel Genz Podcast about?"
Who said that?
Nina. She said, "What's Parallel Genz Podcast about?"
Okay, in a nutshell, we talk about any and everything in life. Bring your questions. We can do questions at the end of it, but until that, Legendary and I are talking about it, and we're going to bring up some subjects. Matter of fact, I think our first 2 subjects on a Saturday night, I think we decided it's going to be, what was it, fathers? What did you say it was going to be? I thought I wrote that down.
You did. It was more so father figures.
Yeah, father figures, something with father figures. And also we're going to talk about our moms. Those 2 things.
Absolutely. Give you a little insight.
Yeah, it's going to be some fun stuff and some serious stuff.
The relationship.
Yeah, Lee said it was father figures.
My relationship is going to surprise a lot of people when it comes to my mom. But, you know, it is what it is. We'll get there.
Yeah. And you were in a single mom home also, right, Legendary?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm telling you, man. So the name just fit, everybody. When we thought about it, parallel generation, it just fit, and we cut it down to gens.
Yeah, starting with the big guns. You know what I'm saying? Oh man.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, I can't say that. All right, well, listen.
Big buns.
We appreciate y'all for coming in. We appreciate y'all.
Go get your Subway.
Again, so this is not the official podcast. This is still us learning, you know what I'm saying, navigating, etc. For those of you who stayed and participated, listen, we appreciate y'all. You kind of got a glimpse of more so of the introduction of ourselves and what we're about and what we're going to talk about in a sense. But yeah, that's us in a nutshell. Hopefully you enjoyed it. All right, there are a lot more to come. With that being said, listen, y'all enjoy y'all Friday. For me, it is currently 8:43 p.m. My Friday's done. About to give me some Subway real quick, come back, shower, and chill out. Other than that, Mike, you got anything?
That's it. Well, just to say thank you all for coming in. We hope that you not only come in and join us tomorrow night, but also go over to YouTube, look in our bios, and go over there and subscribe to the page, because eventually we're going to be switching over there. That's what we're going to do it solely. That's going to give us a little more freedom to dive deeper into the subjects that we want to talk about and to just be able to just talk, you know. So thank you all for coming in. Thank you for staying around. If you have a chance, stop by tomorrow morning. Just be looking for us. We'll be going live sometime tomorrow morning for a little bit, but definitely come back Saturday night here in the States at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
If not, then
link in bio. All right. Make sure that you go check the bios. Go to the YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. All right. Hey, we'll get.
Go ahead and follow us if you're not already following us.
Be the reason someone smiles today. That'll be safe.
One love.